All right, team, who's ready for the witching hour? As we get started today, definitely smash the like. Welcome to it. Start Swing Trading's witching hour. I'm excited to get to it today. Let's bring down the tunes and get into this market. Do got some trades on right now. Market is moving, team. So we got to keep it going. We'll find out what's going on out there. Lowering the music here. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the action right now. All right, let's get towards the stock. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Let's take a look. First one I want to talk about, and because I am in some trades, we got to be quick here. So first things I'm going to talk about is the overall market, and wrong background there. Now we're talking start swing trading. Let's get to the action. You guys out there, smash the like. Welcome to it. The witching hour here by Start Swing Trading Zone. You guys know it. Money Mitch here. SPY getting a little spike right now. Going to keep a close eye on that because I do have some trades on to what? The short side, of course. So if you're here for the dark side, you might like me. And if you're a bull, you might not. But hey, to each his own. Let's get into the action. Let's take a look here at the Qs. Qs going lower here. Just got a little spike there recently. Let's get into the trades that I'm in. Yes, I did get stopped out of Snapchat. Just want to go ahead and mention that was a break-even exit. I actually added today, looking for the pop into the 11s. Wasn't able to get it. Stopped out break-even at the 1070s. Our original entry was 1062. That was a break even, but we did take some profits yesterday towards the close, so not too bad on that one. Let's get into my new trades of the day. The first one, let's get into the one that is closest towards bouncing back into the red. It's a tough one, but I've been trying to take down AMD today. Of course, this is not the easiest trade. I'm going to go ahead and take a look here. You can see how we're coming down here from the 97 area, right above VWAP. I went short here into the 97.20s. That was right on this pop. When I started seeing this takedown into the trend line, as I saw it come back up here, I took my shot there, was going to hold off this kind of like high of the day, and it was close there. I put pretty much my risk was 97.55. It got up there pretty close here to 97.48s, then went down all the way to 96.21s. I'm up decently when I was there, was looking for it to break through these lows. There's multiple lows in this area, so I'm going to go to more like a 5-minute approach here to show you guys those lows that I'm looking to see if we can break it, because if we can break it, the daily chart will be looking like a little bit of a reversal action. Let's see if we get through the 96 here. Definitely don't want to let this position turn into a loser. This is the witching hour, meaning what? A lot of stock expiration coming into play, a lot of volatility coming into play. So smash the like if you guys are excited to see some volatility and hear about some swings. So AMD, of course, is up right now. 97.21 is that entry. I'll keep an eye on it through 96. We can take some profits. Let's get to the other ones. This was my top stock, and I mentioned this on PreMarket Prep this morning. Was going to look for Blackstone to come down here. Was able to get this one at 87.25 right out the gates after the rejection here when it started coming right back down into this area. So 87.25 is right up in this space. Now I'm looking for this Blackstone to really start breaking down on the daily. It could even go to 80. I was thinking about taking some profits into the 83s today. It got down there. It got down there to 82.91. Not going to lie, probably should have just taken some profits there. Got a little greedy with this one, so just got to be smart. Look for the next move. We'll look to see if we get some VWAP rejection here, right back down in Blackstone, able to take some profits. Why am I trading Blackstone to the downside? Well, you guys saw the banks today. They definitely took a beating. JPM, Bank of America taking a hit today. Goldman Sachs, Citi, all these banks that got in on, of course, all this action, definitely taking a hit now. So that's why I went after Blackstone. Of course, it's not a direct like kind of stock, but if we are going to start seeing these asset managements, especially like Morgan Stanley coming down also today, and definitely got to go ahead and mention it, right? This was the winner of the week for us on Morgan Stanley. Over what? 11.8% on Morgan Stanley from this entry on Thursday. So I'm still going to consider this the top winner of the week because we swung it into this week. We're able to take some profits on this one. So can't be mad about Morgan Stanley. Not only did we close this gap, but we went way further. This was where we first attacked it. It was just for the gap close. We took majority of the profits on that gap close, but then look for the expansion move. We got 11.8 on those top shares. So really nice gain there in Morgan Stanley, but the bank's coming down today. So going after BlackRock there. And let's talk about the last trade here. You guys know I've been calling out, and I don't know who else has been calling it out since I have, but I definitely was a little bit early to the trade. Can't be wrong with being a little bit early. Thursday, we started calling for XLE to start turning around. That's right here on this day. You can see it how we started to crack here and continuing to crack. We'll see what happens here. Does it continue to come down lower, these oil stocks? I did make some great gains on Oxy this week, over 5% to the downside. Chevron over 4% to the downside. And now I'm short on XOM. XOM, I've already taken some profits in the intraday action. Now towards 174 added to it when it came back to that level right around here above the VWAP. So was able to add the shares that I took some profits through 100 last time. I could take some profits at 100 again, but I'm looking for this to come right back down here towards the 99.50 area. Could take some profits and look for the swing over the weekend to see if we continue to see XOM break down back down there towards the 95. And of course, look at the 200-day. It's starting to use it as resistance. That's around the 101.82s. Will it reclaim it or will it crack down today? We'll see what happens here. Still have yet to take some additional profits since that first crack of the 100 spot. It did crack here for a little bit. Was thinking maybe taking 99.80s. Haven't taken it yet. I'll let you guys know. Will we get another leg down? That's what I'm paying attention to, the cues, the SPY. Will we come lower here? And of course, there could be some major swings here. So we have to keep in mind that it is the witching hour with a lot of option expiration coming into play today. Got to be careful. Smash the like, you guys out there. We got over 100 of you guys going to take a look at stocks that you guys are mentioning, but definitely good to have you guys like always. Detroit Alex, Walter, Richard, Easy Mike, Jay. What's going on out there, team? Florida in the house. Peachy, you like Pac W? We'll take a look at that. No worries. We can definitely get into some of those regional banks. We'll get into it and what was hot and what was not. Really quickly wanted to cover those trades so that if I do get out of them, at least you guys understand why I would be getting out here. And don't get me wrong, the SPY could rip a little bit higher here as we come to the end. Let's explain what the triple witching is. I'm good with that one, Grateful. Let's talk a little bit about that, right? So what is the triple or the quad witching? So I got you guys. I'll go ahead and I'll put it on the banner down below for you guys to read it here. But of course, this is when all three contract derivatives expire, right? So triple witching is when index option, index futures, and of course, single stock futures all expire. Of course, we're also talking about option contracts. That's what makes it a quad witch, right? So you got option contracts, index options, index futures, and then now you got single stock futures all expiring at the same time, right? That's why it's a quad witching, really. Some still refer to this as a triple witch. So we'll see what happens today. And what happens is all that expiration creates some volatility, especially in the last hour of the trading day before the closing bell. Most trading action happens on the witching hour. So let's see what happens today. Will we get a lot of action in this last hour? We just started it, so we'll see if we get another pop here, what will happen to the market. You can see also the SPY kind of right now just kind of bottoming around this kind of 388 levels. Do we crack that and go lower or come back through the VWAP? That's what we need to pay attention to, because if we get a spike through the VWAP, a lot of these trades I'm going to have to just cover and take the gains that I already have, right? We'll find out what happens today. Like always, this is going to be in a moving type of hour. So if you guys see me making quick decisions, like always, going to go ahead and focus and nail in to see what we get. All right, let's see what else is out there. Captain Kirk, what's up out there? Happy St. Greeny Day. Where's the green beer? I need some green beer. All right, Jay, what's going on out there? A lot of crazy moves in this last hour. Jesse cashed out of Ford. Ford just bouncing now. So if you were short on this name, I could see why you're bouncing out of it. Can't blame you for that. And I'm keeping a close eye. AMD could push at any moment. I'm definitely worried about AMD, but I like the daily outlook because you have this kind of like harmy look, right? If we could actually come down there towards the 94, this could pull back here towards the 9 EMA around the 90s, but we're going to have a little bit of a downturn here. So look at the hourly candles. Can we come back through these hourly 96, or are we going to get back through 97? I'm above slightly 97, so definitely not going to risk here it going into the red, but to give myself a chance for the real takedown in AMD. Nvidia is another one that I expected for a pullback, right? Can keep this on watch to see what happens. Will we get the pullback there? Will Nvidia come down through that 258? Something to keep in mind. All right, let's keep going. Let's go into what was hot and what was not today. And pretty much you guys can see it. Nothing essentially sector-wise hot. So that's why I'm also trading to the downside. It didn't seem like anything was looking bullish. But of course, that can flip in a heartbeat towards the close here. We'll find out. Basic materials did pop up a little bit, now pulling back there. That's your leading sector of the day, but it's not really leading because it's still down 0.62%. Silver and gold, probably the only thing you're seeing up there. Copper and metals, not looking too bad, but definitely that gold trade today. Nice little takeoff there. GLD, nice little push here. Look at AU, good, nice little push. NUG T, 2 times the bull, right? JNUG. There you guys see it. Nice little move there by the gold miners. And of course, keep these on watch. Newmont, definitely nice little move there in some gold stocks today. Hope somebody was able to nail that. We talked about it on pre-market prep. And of course, Trade Zero's stock to watch. We'll see what happens here as Newmont Corporation having a great day. Silver also. PAAS is one that I was trying to trade through 17 earlier in the week. And today, nice little rip through that 17, going up there to the 1778s. Wasn't a part of this trade today, but something I definitely would keep in mind, right? Silver and gold, if we're going to keep getting this down action, these worries, they're definitely going to continue to run. We'll find out what happens there. Catching up with the comments. How we doing out there? What's going on, guys? A little bit of green beer? Yes. Pinkies on up. Let's get it going. All kind of Momo gold calls, GDX, yeah, FNV. There's so many of those that give a nice big push. WPM, yeah, a lot of these kind of gold plays getting a nice big push today. AU is one that I like, and I'm kind of a little frustrated because I cut this one. I talked about this way too many times. I cut this one at 17 for a slight gain. It was just hanging out here, and it really wasn't taking off to the 18s. Now it's back there to 2078. That's about a 21% gainer that I missed out on just because I was a little bit impatient. But that happens, team. We all got to learn from each other, right? AMD getting a little bit of a spike now. This is where it gets a little bit concerning as we come back here. Definitely don't want to lose out. Remember, I have 97.21s. So just going to go ahead and kind of make sure that we're protected here, because at the end of the day, we could get spikes out of nowhere. And I'm not going to battle on AMD. It's either going to go or not. What's looking for a bigger swing, right? Give me that big move so that I could risk a tiny, tiny amount here. But if it really broke down, it was going to be a nice win. So we'll see what happens here. If we do get the next push here, we'll get out here for a small loss. Going to get out around 97.25s. It could be a little bit slightly under that, but trigger should hit around the 97.20s. We'll find out about AMD. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at XOM oil stocks. Does this want to go lower, or is this going to drive up into the close? We need to just keep watch on the Qs. You can see the Qs starting to bounce a little bit. You can see the SPY starting to bounce a little bit. I have a feeling we could get a little push up today, so be careful out there, team. All right, let's keep going. You guys name stocks. I'll keep it flowing today. Smash it up, team. Let's go to coin. Coin getting a little bit of a squeeze here towards the close. If this is getting a little bit of a squeeze, I did see that there was a mention of some like European kind of cryptocurrency move with this, but I think could move all cryptocurrency stocks. So you could take a look at maybe like Mara. You could take a look at like Hut. Those are starting to get a little bit of a lift here. Riot having a nice day today. So keep your eyes on these cryptocurrency stocks. They are getting a little push up here. AMD already back to VWAP. Not looking good there, team. Could get stopped out on that AMD, but not going to turn it into a loser, right? If I get out, it's for a small loss. We're talking less than what? 3 pennies or something like that. So we'll find out here on AMD. Gave myself the chance for a 96 breakdown towards the close, but if it doesn't happen, it is what it is. All right, let's see what else is going on. Trading Snap till the close. Can't blame you, Easy Mike. I got out of Snap earlier, but this looks good here as it's starting to recover, trying to make its way towards 11. Earlier, I got stopped out at the 1070s, so I got no problem also taking a little bit of some shots here. So you guys keep calling out stocks. Of course, I'll make my decisions, and we'll keep rolling. All right, Helene, haven't been able to make it for a while. Hope everyone's hanging in. It's good to see you back. Haven't seen you showing up in a little bit, but like always, good to have you back in the chat. FRC, what's going on there? First Republic just made a new low, now starting to bounce. Is this where I'm going to be looking for pullbacks? Nope, I'm not jumping into this by any means, but definitely can't blame you for looking at it if this is your type of play. Definitely not my type of play. Was looking more at the banks. Will JPM make a new low here? If that does happen, I could see the stocks turning around to the downside, but we'll find out right now. The bank's definitely dragging the bigger stocks today. Let's take a look at some of these bigger stocks, right? Haven't taken a look in a little bit to Apple. You can see how Apple's is dragging here. Will it make a nice little run here towards the close? Microsoft looks interesting for a little bit of a run here towards the close. If we are going to get a lift in the Qs, this doesn't look bad by any means to push right back up towards like the 280s, up towards 281. Doesn't seem too bad here on Microsoft, but of course it's going to be all dependent on the Qs and the SPY if we want to make that next little push up here. And you can already see the SPY starting to push here. So as AMD probably going to take a hit right here and get out of that AMD, now I'm going to start taking a look. Do we just run towards the profits in the oil game? Got to watch here. It's almost back above that 100 and the SPY trying to make a little bit of an up move. With that up move, we can look for this Microsoft to get that lift. Google, how's that looking? Google right off the VWAP. This actually looks interesting for me too. You can see here kind of how you have like this trend line here on Google, and you kind of have a little bit of an uptrend line. So what does that mean? If you got an uptrend line and a downtrend line, what do we have? We have a flag pennant pattern here for Google. We'll look to see if we get back above those levels. Does it hold the 102 on pullbacks? That's kind of the approach that I'd be looking at. We'll see right here what happens. AMD did get me wicked out there. So there you guys see it. Got out there, 97.25. Could have got stop hunted there. Who knows? If this comes right back down, so be it. I didn't want to be in the name for kind of, let's say, a lot of risk. I was looking for a little bit of a bigger swing here in AMD. It didn't happen today, and so be it. I can always get back into the name. That's going to be it for on AMD at least. Let's take a look here at Blackstone. That's just trying to hang in here around above the VWAP. XOM now just going right back to the downside. So really going to look to see if XOM can really start wiping out to 99 now and not really just making a push above 100. SPY overall is hanging up here, but could turn right back to the downside. So it's going to be a little bit of an iffy situation here until we really get a trend. All right, catching up with the chat. What's going on out there? Captain Kirk, Rich, stay safe. Always stay safe. That's what it's all about. Wesson wants to take a look at Trade Desk. I got you. I'll take a look at that right now. What's going on, team? What are you guys taking a look at? CS fading, Greece. Boom, bank weekend. So which overseas blows up this weekend? Greece, Italy, Europe? Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I will go on a limb. This is pure speculation, but I think we might hear something from like a Deutsche Bank, right? I don't know why, but Something tells me that I might be hearing something. And this is pure speculation, team. So take this with a million grains of salt, not something that I'm really even going to trade on. It's going to be something that I'll just watch. But hey, you made the call in the chat there. Which bank would go? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we hear some bad news from DB. We'll find out. Credit Suisse, you guys can see that. It's at $2. Maybe this is the one that just disappears, right? We'll find out. It's definitely barely hanging on there. Got a lot of money, though, as of recent. We'll find out. All right, SPY overall, just hanging out here. We're still not getting that reactionary move that I thought we would get. So we got to be careful here as we get closer to 330. We could get a little bit of a speed up. And AMD is right back down 97. So that could have just been a stop out on that kind of push up. So we'll find out what happens there. All right, let's keep watch to see what other stocks are making moves. Meta trying to bounce a little bit here. Baidu back into the green on the day. Was going to take a look to see if China Tech was going to make a move to the upside. Baidu making a little bit of a move there. How's Baba? Baba just coming back there. It doesn't look too strong there. And so if we were getting some of these tech names to like kind of rip towards the close, I wouldn't mind taking a look at like PDD for a little bit of a swing back to 95, but we'll find out what happens there. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is moving on. I know that you wanted to take a look at, and it was TTD, right? The trade desk. All right, let's get into it. The trade desk here on the daily still looks kind of strong here, actually. I mean, for the bearish trend that we're going through right now, this doesn't look too bad. One thing I do see is that this trend line kind of broke above and then pulled back and held 57 today. So definitely 57s. I feel like that needs to kind of hold now. And we're going to look for the push back towards 59. If you're a bull, this doesn't look too bad at all, right? I think this is holding now VWAP and could push here right towards the close, towards 59. I kind of like this setup here. This doesn't look too bad. And I'm even going to go ahead and set an alert here. So when we do get that move to 59, I'll be alerted on the trade desk. Not a bad looking move right now. London Bridge is falling down. falling down. Oh, hopefully not, man. But yeah, it's tough out there, team. Be careful. Shareholders don't get bailed, so be careful out there. I agree. You got to, with all right now, it's all about capital preservation today. And whenever you're dealing with these times, right? It's not necessarily about making a killing. I know a lot of people talk about that, but that's easily how you can get wrecked. TTD stock charts from Tom Bowers, analyst suggested TTD. Well, hey, I'll tell you right now, stock charts, Tom Bauer, definitely not someone that I would be going against. And what is he seeing that probably I'm seeing the same of is this throwback look. So when you get this kind of curving action from the moving averages, right? You got this nice little push, right? You came back and you did what? You filled this gap. So I'm sure he kind of mentioned that outlook that you got that filling of the gap. Now you're going above this trend line, holding the pullbacks. Looks interesting for the next step. We'll find out. All right. Don't get trapped. Yeah, definitely. Don't get trapped, team. DNA, Sports Billy, hit the like button for me. I'll get through that. I'll take a look really quickly. Ginkgo Bioworks just looks like it keeps going lower and lower. I remember when this one came out, everyone was so positive about this one. I was very negative about it, but that's from the very start. You can even see I created this line in when? I created this line in September 14th of 21. Was looking for this to kind of break through on the downside, would really be a concerning level. And boom, there you guys see it. 931, Ginkgo Bioworks keeps going lower. Probably, I mean, this might get towards that $1 range, but there's a lot of SPACs that got into this space. One that I'm keeping in watch for a longer term is like a Hyliion. So just to keep it in mind, this is a $2 stock. These are really cheap. You got to be careful when you're playing with these, Sports Billy. So on DNA, I think you got to see the trend change on the monthly. Look how the monthly always looks really bad on these. That's what I think is very important. Same way like I look at my Genie, right? I have a similar bag, I'll call it. I got this one and I'm stuck stuck in it, right? I don't know if you have a bag in that one, but I can tell you right now, like I wanted to see this green kind of trend, and I don't want to see it break through like kind of the 350s now. Continue sideways is okay, not continuing the downward break there. And we are getting a little bit of a lift here. Let's go back to the Qs. I'm seeing the AMD pushing a little bit higher. Qs going right back to VWAP. So we could start taking a look at that Microsoft trade if we wanted to take a little bit of a scalp to the upside here with this trade. It's all up to what you guys are looking at right now. I personally don't want to go too big on tech because I feel like it's already gone way too far this week. But that doesn't mean that it can't just keep going and going and going. So we'll see what happens there. XOM back above the 100. That's where it gets a little bit fishy here. Do we take the profits or not? We'll give it a little bit of room here towards 110. But if it starts getting above that 110, we'll have to take some profits, and we'll find out if we can hold this towards the close. Let's keep it going. Can you check ECC? I got you. Let's take a look. Eagle Point Credit Company. That's something that I would take a look at normally, but this does look like it is trying to break through on the downside level. You'd want to see it kind of close towards the $10 right on the dot. We'll look to see if we get that takedown. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other stocks here. What else is being mentioned? Wells Fargo said 100 basis point rate cut by the end of tech. If so, tech bottom. I don't understand what you meant there, Beans, but it could have been that Wells Fargo said that we could get a 100 basis point rate cut by the Fed by the end of the month. If so, tech has bottomed. Yes. I mean, if we get actually rate cuts, yeah, tech's bottomed already. And I think that that's one thing that you got to keep in mind, right? One thing you are seeing is a strong Qs. So if I wanted to, I could also look at some of the weaker ones like Micron Technologies, right? This is at least closer towards the daily bottoms than these stocks that are ripping higher. But if you want to stay with the relative strength, then you got to stay with like an AMD, like an Nvidia, right? These have been pretty strong. Even TSM starting to show a little bit of an up move back to the upside. I think you got to be careful with TSM, of course, exposure. But Marvell, very similar move, right? Hanging on right now, just broke back to the 40s. Will it make the move back towards 41 here? Something to keep in mind. Let's go to those Qs. How are we looking now? Just rejected that VWAP. So let's start seeing if we can get this XOM to really start breaking down here. And if I really wanted to, I could add right now for the takedown. But what I can do also is just look at some other oil plays here for the kind of the little bit of a momentum move towards the close here. Drip was a nice one we talked about earlier in the day. That got up there to 18. We'll just get up there back towards 1825 and 1850s. Something to watch. All right. By end of year, I'm driving. Voice text sucky. No worries, Beans. I think I caught it, but I just wanted to make sure that I got it right. All right, let's keep going. Drive safely, brother. Yeah, definitely. I agree with Easy. Be careful with that texting and driving out there. We don't want anybody getting hurt. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at the stocks out there. Watching AMD, that's pushing higher now to 97.40s here. Qs, is this really going to start driving? A little part of me feels like it could. Apple could be a one way that we could take a little push here towards 156. Would have to risk off the 155 right now. You can see we just kind of had higher lows, higher lows, higher lows on the last 5 minutes. So I could take this shot here, like let's say off 154.87 for a move back through 156 on the upside. We'll see what happens here. Will Apple start riding higher? Will the SPY actually just push here towards 393? Or we reject the 391. Let's take a look here at the Apple trade. I have no problem taking this one because it at least would be a really nice tight risk. And that's what matters here. If I'm going to take one here towards the close, it's going to be pretty quick. All right, let's see if we can get this here. Apple doesn't look too bad. I'm still seeing AMD push a little bit higher. So I could see those stocks push. XOM just hanging out sideways. So I got to be careful with that one. Nothing's going on with it, really. No one wants to come and hit it on the downside, but no one big is also just taking it back towards 150. So we got to be careful there because it does get back there. we're just going to have to take the profits and run because it's going to be pretty close to that stop out into the 174 level. All right, let's go to that Apple trade now. I am starting to see even more strength coming in here into the Qs. SPY also finally almost to the VWAP there. Has been making a little bit of a move up, but it's not really, it's been a big drive. It's more like AMD got a little bit of a push. Nvidia, that looks a little bit stronger there. Now trying to recover 260. AMD has an hour to make my short good. Yeah, we'll find out about that one. Beans drinking a Guinness while texting on voice. Yeah, we'll find out about that one too. Charles Schwab, what happened to that one? That's been getting wrecked lately. He's been down massively. I don't understand why people took down Charles Schwab. At least from what they said, things don't seem that bad. But hey, to each its own. Maybe they're just not giving us the facts and somebody knows something, because it seems like somebody knows something. That's one of those. Goldman Sachs now taking a move back to the downside. JPM is still on the low there, so we could still see a downward swing here towards the close. That's why I'm still not into that Apple one. I'm still looking at these banks because these banks are going to make a big difference here. KRE starting to come right back down. What's going on in some of these? TFC, PNC down big here. Will this get hit back to the downside here? PNC Financial. Man, I can't believe we talked a lot about these regionals before they made these big moves, and still I missed some of them. So we'll find out about these. We talked about this RF there multiple times. Will this come right back down towards those 14 levels, or is the banking situation done? All things to keep in mind. All right, you guys out there, smash the like. We got over 150 of you guys. You guys know I've been taking some trades, looking to see if I could take some more trades here towards the close. It's the quad witching. It's the witching hour here. Let's get to the SPY. Is that going to get above VWAP? No, another rejection there. So as you guys can see, it just seems like we're staying a little bit towards the downside of the range. So if I really wanted to, I could just kind of scout the SQQQ here, go with like a SOX S trade, go with an Nvidia short if I'd like off the 260. That doesn't look too bad. Nvidia is extended in my eyes to the up on the high side here towards like 260s. Could pull back to 250s here towards the close. So this doesn't look too bad either. We'll just have to risk off like the 260s. I got no problem with this one here. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a pushback towards like 258.80s. I'll take a shot there in Nvidia. Got no problem with this one. Let's see if we can get a little bit a move back here into the 259.80 level. I'll look to see if we get a pull back there, but it's already starting to come down. XOM, did we finally cut through that 100 to the downside? Still no big break there. We'll keep a watch on. Chevron now starting to make that next leg to the downside. This doesn't look too bad. Of course, we had Chevron earlier in the week. We're looking for this to bounce back. Same thing for Oxy, but in the pre-market was not able to get that $60 price there for Oxy. If this would have gone to 60 in the intraday, yes, I would have been nailing this short. But now I just got to watch to see if we get continuation. SPY already coming right back down to 389.60s. We could start seeing a little bit of a takedown in these names. A weak one today. Tesla. Will this come weak towards the close? This was weak. This was straight move down here towards around 178. Lost about 3%. So Tesla not staying strong. Yeah, and the money managers know this. Yeah, you got to be careful out there. Feel like the market is torn between satisfying Max Payne and everyone's desire to not be long through the weekend. Exactly. It could very much be that. Wisdom, how we doing out there? Hey, Money Mitch, EMPH a good buy at this level for long term? Well, smoked tuna. I would rather take smoked tuna from you than EMPH. And smoked tuna sounds really good. But unfortunately, I can't tell you if it's a good buy because I'm not a financial advisor, but I can tell you how I look at EMPH, right? So EMPH, I talked about it. It was trying to come back with the move that was happening in First Solar and SEDG. but these just couldn't do it. And I was even playing it for this kind of 330 rip. I was even up big on this day and ended up cutting it break even just because I started seeing the turn come back with the banking situation that was happening. Now I'm seeing EMPH do what? Start to break down even further. Not a stock that I want to be in. It's really been broken since pretty much December. And with that being said, I think you'll see First Solar continuing to break down. I know that one stayed strong, but this one doesn't look too bad for a swing short. As long as, we're going to continue to see a little bit of some downside action. I actually don't mind this one right now for First Solar. Let's take a little bit of a shot here on First Solar. This is 243 above it, so we would have to risk up here towards this kind of 264 spot. I'm going to go ahead and risk towards about 275 here. We could risk it's about a point off the offer, a little bit more than a point on the bid here, but I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of a trade here. This isn't going to be a massive trade, of course. My swings usually stay controlled here, so let's see if I can get a fill. There you go. 199.78 there. Let's go. First Solar, short side. We'll find out if this one breaks to the downside. Out will be up here towards 275. We'll find out if we do get a little bit of a push. This could stop me out really quickly. But if the SPY takes down towards 389 towards the close here, going to be looking good in First Solar. We'll find out about that one. Nvidia, did we get back there to the 280s? I think I just missed that little move right now. Yeah, I just missed it. Ooh, should have had the order out there sitting, team. I was going to look for this little pushback to 259.80s. Let's see if we get a little bit of a push here back towards the 80s. There we go. We're coming back. What did we get to? We got to 87. VWAP is 90. Let's see like 260s here if we get to fill on the pushback. The spread is going to widen up here. Feel like towards 259.90s. Let's also keep the other charts involved here so that I can take a look here at the Qs. Put the Qs here on the left. Still watching that Exxon Mobil here, right? Now we're starting to get a little bit of, can we get that downturn in the Qs really coming crushing down here? Nvidia. Sorry, team. This is kind of that really fast trading here. I already missed that 80 push there. See if I can get at least 70s. All right, just took a little bit there. 259.75 here. Now we're in the 259.89s and 84s. Look to see what happens here. If this candle goes green and gets to that VWAP, that's where we got to be careful. That's where I feel like we could just get a drive on these tech stocks. We got to be very careful here as I'm taking these. You guys make your full disclosure. Guys, like always, you guys choose your own levels. You guys choose your own trades. I'm just trying to take some more trades into this witching hour. You guys keep it up in the chat. Let me know what you guys see. Do you do any online futures on Sunday? Money Mitch. I sometimes take a look myself, Milky, but I don't do the charts because I do the book club. I don't know if you've heard about the book club, Milky Fade, but I do have a book club that will be going over Japanese candlestick charting techniques. It's pretty much a club that we meet up on Sunday nights at 6 p.m., talk about our readings, get better understanding, and try to continue pushing forward. A lot of that is what I wanted to go ahead and do some more reading in this year. So this is a great way to join us on the Benzinga book club. All right, let's take a look at what else is going out there. Have noticed a few insider buys last 2 days in energy, LEU today, CRK. It's not the best. Jay, what do you think about insider buys? Do you feel like you get edge off of those? I know I don't as much. Wheezy, as a new trader, I'd be lying in my bed with a cold cloth in this market without you guys, Mitch and all. Hey, that's all you can do, man, is just a lot of this is just learning, especially if you're a new trader and this is the first environment you're trading in. Just be careful, understand it, learn it, add a skill to your tool belt every week. Say, hey, this week I want to learn about how do I pay attention to time and sales. and try to use market depth. This week, I'm going to learn about how I can use maybe a MACD in my intraday trading to get a little bit better. There's so many different things that you can go after. But like always, try to go ahead and add a skill. And that's really what we try to do here, show a little bit of process approach of how I go after it, show some setups so that you can get an understanding of really what swing trading is all about. All right, AMD is ripping, team. So that's a little bit concerning for this Nvidia trade here, right? We don't want to see it kind of spike through. We just got to spike above the 260s to 260.06 here. I could add at 260 now and then hold for like 260.25s, but I'm going to keep it small right now because we could have the witching rip, right? Look at AMD. This is pushing higher. Glad I got out of this one for like a small loss there, about 3-cent loss, because I would have been already losing now over close to $1 on AMD, and definitely wasn't going to allow that. There's Nvidia back through the 260s. 260.25 is going to get me out of Nvidia. I'm going to keep it really small right now because this is not one that we're going to battle on. This is more along, is it going to work? If it is, so be it. But above the 25s, I definitely want out. All right. And just to put it in perspective, this is very small. So my biggest thing is right now is that I don't want to get caught too much in this witching with a big rip. And then all of a sudden, boom, everything kind of flips out. And that can easily happen. So got out of that Nvidia for a tiny hit there. Of course, 259.75. It's about a little bit over 50 cents there on Nvidia. As we're starting to push higher here, you could start seeing a squeeze in some names. So be careful out there, team. XOM still really hasn't broken down, but anything above that 100 now, I will just go ahead and take some profits, hold the rest, break even. Same thing for BX. If this would kind of come back up through my levels, I'd get out of it. But if it can come lower, we're just going to keep going and trying to swing the black stone. We'll find out what's going on out there. All right, let's get back to the main charts. There's still a lot to talk about. Let's get to the SPY. SPY is trying to recover the 390s. That still hasn't really made a move. I think the Qs is kind of leading it here. Kind of weird. But why would the Qs be leading right now? Well, tech stocks have been really strong, right? So if we are going to see a move, it'll probably be from the tech names. That's one area that I'd definitely keep an eye out. Sunday night, what time? 6 p.m. Eastern is the book club every single week. And we already went through one book this year. So if you want to join that, I'll go ahead and throw up the link. Not really trying to promote it here, but it's just more along a way for you guys to continue growing your skills, especially if you're a new trader out there. All right, TX, Wheezy, what's going on out there? Jay, you like the insider selling? Would like to see more than one? Yeah, it's important to kind of catch those, but I just haven't found much edge off of them. TX, a steal play. So steal plays, of course, I keep up with X. X had a good report out today, but as you can see, even with good numbers out, X got hit hard today. So this is just kind of, for me, more about just not being in favor right now. Normally, this headline would have drove steal higher, but in this environment, it got hit. So what I'd be looking is, in the next couple of weeks, if we start getting an upturn, what would this stock do? Because right now, we're still in that kind of downturn worry. We get out of, let's say, the FOMC meeting and things start turning around and looking bullish. Yeah, I'll come looking back at X. But right now, big pullback on the day, even though it gave some good numbers, and you can see it from this pop in the after hours, but it's already back down pretty close to yesterday's low, where it was already getting hit hard. So these steal names, I don't expect much on them, even on that TX. All right, let's keep going. Good afternoon. From the Philippines, what's going on out there? It's good to see you. Man, we're reaching all the way out to the Philippines. Let's go. All right, smash the like. Let's keep it going. Question from Grateful to God. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it feels like today has been a rinse and repeat day. It's harder to capture any consistent upward/downward confirmations. 100%. This is this style of market. We call it the chop chop. Why? Because you get bottom of the range moves, top of the range moves, bottom of the range moves, top of the range moves. This is very important. What do we want to do when we're seeing this, right? Do we want to just be maybe rushing to profits a little bit quicker? Yes, this could be a way to kind of secure those profits, right? But like always, you got to go ahead and have different tools. I think that's important, right? Because certain times you're going to have to understand what the current environment is giving you, and maybe slightly adjusting your kind of reward outlook can help. Like in certain situations, certain markets, I have no problem looking for a 10% gain. In certain markets, I can tell you right now, I'm going to be more looking for a 4% gain, a 6% gain, and I'd be more than happy to take that 4%. And I think it's very important sometimes to kind of slightly adjust your outlook. And that's also based on the current environment and what is being given to you. So right now, as of late, we've been getting some 6% winners. So that's been a nice look. And always, I got you, Joe. Stick around. There's a lot for you here. Captain Kirk, auto sales, boom, dead. Tesla, dead. Ford, going down. GM, going down. Yeah, those vehicles don't look that great. But yeah, you're not wrong, Grateful. It definitely is making it harder, especially for confirmation moves, right? Like where you're getting that big swing. And you guys know, as a swing trader, we're looking for that trend to actually continue. That's why for these oil trades, I actually cut yesterday, and you can see Oxy ended up climbing that whole wall of worry back to my entry. I was in at 60.17. I cut the trade yesterday towards like 57.80s or 57.50s. Because why? Because I just didn't want to hang on. I took my profits and I understood that I could come back into the name. And I think that that's the important part. We need to understand that we can come back into these names if we're really going to go ahead and continue the takedowns. All right, let's go to that XOM. Will I finally get the move to 99? I'm telling you, team, I'm keeping my close eye on this because it's just on a slow leak. But now it's looking a little bit better. Just want to see that expansion move here. Get a little bit strong towards the close, towards that 99 on ExxonMobil. All right, that's looking good. BX not looking too bad. First Solar back into the green here. So finally starting to see a little bit more drop on that. We also see now what? This is the rule of three, team. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by that. Really quickly, I do want to add to this name. So let me go ahead and add. Let me just focus in here, try to get a better entry here for us. All right, if I can get back, we have 199.78. So I'm going to look for about let's do like 85 here on a little bit of a bounce, can add to this name. I'll put it out there to see if I get a little bit of a bounce. I'll show you guys the rule of three for me here. So rule of three always talks about what? We're looking for resistance test and support test. This is resistance 1, a nice drive higher above the VWAP. Pullback 1. Resistance 2. Pullback 2. Resistance 3. Now you can start creating kind of the trend lines, right? You can just kind of draw here and you can see how this kind of works out. Then I always look for kind of what? Some bottoming action coming in here to show us the bottom of this chart. Now we look for either a breakout above 200 or a fail down below kind of this 199, this first support. That's really the confirmation that the pattern's kind of breaking. If it gets back above here towards the 250, we'll know it's in breakout stage and I can get out there for the trade. What does it do? It gives me a little ability to what? Be patient, look for the move. The rule of three, we'll see if it comes into play. Takes out the 199 on downside. That's a not confirmation, right? That's a rejection of the bullish pattern. A move back above 250. That's a confirmed bullish pattern to the upside. So this, what it does is it at least gives me the ability to set risk here, right? We could, since we're short on this could be the red out. This could be that kind of green here. And what do we mean by green? Confirmation that we're heading in the right direction, that we could either take some profit there or look for the continued downside We'll see what happens there in First Solar. Hope you guys appreciate me breaking down trades like this, because this is what I really think is important, is learning the risk to reward, trying to find how you can go ahead and figure out what works for you out there, team, because that's what this show's all about. Is it 4-to-1? Is it 2-to-1 outlooks? If it's 2-to-1 outlooks, you're just going to have to be probably about 60% accurate to be into the green, versus, let's say, a 4-to-1 where I need to be kind of about 40% accurate to be into that green. So find what works for you, team. Let's find out what happens here in the quad witching hour. The last 10 minutes, we're starting to see some downturn here. Just saw First Solar go right to that 199.07. You saw it wick there? Man, this is getting sexy here. Let's see what happens, team. It's definitely getting hot now. Movement going on now. Yes, I did get that fill there on First Solar. Let's go. Now we're starting to get this 199 downturn. XOM, how's that doing? That actually went to 199.70s and is bouncing a little bit. Of course, I'm not going to let that go back through the 100. Just want to see if we can get some downturn towards the close here. SPY overall got a little bit of pop, some volume, of course. Now those expirations coming into expiration. So a lot of people making those last decisions here in the last 10 minutes of the market. And a lot of these kind of brokerages at 345, especially zero ODTE, start to kind of just close your positions. It depends on what brokerage you have, right? So we definitely started seeing a heightened volume there after that 345. We're starting to see what happens here. Qs overall rejecting to go back above VWAP, but could always still make the move here towards the close. All right, what's going on out there, team? Short-term credit, Mitch. Bank of America being mentioned out there. 345 to the sell side. Let's take a look at Bank of America. What's going on out there? Psychologically, it's the rule of three, because on average, traders give up on push-ups and prices after 3 attempts for waiting for trend direction. Pretty much grateful to God. And this is something that I came up with. Literally, no one else came up with this but myself. How did I come up with this? Just looking at bull flags, pennants. And this is something that isn't going to work 100% of the time. Like always, nothing works 100% of the time, but something I keep an eye out for. And definitely find your niche, find where you kind of can fit there. It's going to be so important. All right, we are seeing a little bit of recovery here in the Qs. How's that First Solar move? It's around the 199. Still hasn't really cracked to that next level, which would be like a 198 move. But if we get this move even towards like 198.50 here before the close, I'm going to start taking some profits in First Solar. This is looking good. Just wanted to get that next leg down and not get back through that 200. There you go. 198 starting to crack here. Going to see if we can get a little bit of a push here and take a little bit of profit on this one. Let's see if I can set this up here for about like 198.50s to take some profits. All right, starting to see 50s there show up there. I put the order out there and didn't get the fill in the first hit towards the 50s. Let's see if we get another move down into that 50s. It went to 53. That's why I didn't get hit. Let's see if we come through the 198.50s now and take some profits in First Solar. Keeping an eye on XOM. That is trying to come back through the 100 spot. Going to give it a second here to see if it closes on a 5-minute basis above that 100, because then that could start reversing this pattern here. We're not going to let it get too far up, right? 175 is where I'm in, and it could easily just come back to these levels. All right, BX, definitely going to be one that we're going to swing throughout the weekend. This is an entry from 87.25. I'm ways away from here, so I'm going to take the shot on that. All right, it's apparently early, easy. What are you guys looking at? The Buffett effect. Anything tied to the short-term credit. Let's go. All right, what else is going on out there? The Mitch rule of three? Yeah, I maybe got to name it that, but hey, I'm cool with the rule of three as long as everybody gets a jump on it. All right, let's see what else is going on here towards the close. How did Apple do? That's trying to actually come up here towards the close. Microsoft trying to recover a little bit. The SPY just hanging out. I thought we would get a little bit bigger move here, and we started getting some move. Like, look at Nvidia. Nvidia went back up through that 260, went to 261, and then a hard 258 move here on Nvidia. How did that AMD do? Glad I got out of that one. That one's still hanging on by a thread there, but doesn't look too bad. First Solar still wasn't able to take that first profit, and it's coming back, team. That's just how quickly it could come back. Did I get it? Yes, we did get it. Oh, I had to literally look back, team. There's so much going on, but we did get first profits there on First Solar. Got hit there at the 198.50. So now this is coming back on us, but we'll see if it comes through that level. Where did we go to? We went to 198.45. Okay. Woo. That was a little bit scary there on First Solar. Took a little bit of a profit there. Didn't want to see it just start ripping. I mean, look at this wick. That's a big wick there, man. This candle closed at 199.65, opened at 199.85, went down to 198.45. So we'll see what happens here. Definitely a big wick there. Will it come back up through 200? I'll tell you what, I'm not going to hold it if it comes back through the 200. We'll see what happens right now. That was a hard one there. All right, let's see what else is going on. 3:55, 5 minutes left, 4 minutes left. I need a sip of water here, team. This is one of those days. Let's go. Let's see what we get here towards the close. You guys smash the like. Let's keep going. Start swing trading. Probably the only person taking the witching hour so serious right now. Money Mitch here trying to make some cash. Let's find out. First Solar. We're going to go right back down. Let's do it. Let's see what you got. SPY. You're going to come cracking down towards 389 here towards the close. Let's see if we can get that. Qs. You're going to reject the VWAP one more time. XOM. Look at that, man. That thing wicked up really quickly towards 125s. Now back towards 99.85s. So definitely not going to let it go back above this 100. Let's just see if we start really getting a takedown. It's a little bit volatile out there. Be careful, team. AMD, hope AMD bombs after the option market closes. We'll see. One thing, though, remember, is that as new traders, we got to really be careful with trying to short like really strong names. I'm not saying that you can't do it. Like always, you make your decisions, Wessie. But I'll say this is one thing that I say, you just got to be careful with, because whenever you're going to go and short something that's really strong, we always got to understand that it could keep going. Not saying that this one's going to keep going, but it's one thing that I always tell myself, right? No stock has to turn around. No stock has to go up. These are things that we need to take out of our vocabulary and try to make sure that there's always some uncertainty that we're calculating, right? There's always uncertainty in the market. No matter what the position is, there's always uncertainty out there. You have a major baseball. If it holds over the weekend, home run. Let's go. Let's get the home run. Major balls. If you hold over the weekend on the long side, on which one, Captain? Which one? The Gus trade? What? The oil trade? 4 minutes. Get to cash long for the weekend. We'll find out. Cojones? Major cojones you talking about, Captain? Don't worry. We got that, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what we get into. Sound that alarm. We'll see what we get to. And you guys know me. I'm not stressing it. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Is it going to be?
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Or is it going to be a little bit where I'm like,
a few moments later.
Nah, man. I'll tell you one thing. I'll be looking at it for a nice little
Boom shakalaka.
And some money. Bow, bow, bow. We'll find out what happens here towards the close. Definitely First Solar just sticking around the 199.50 area. I don't mind taking a little bit of a shot on this one since we already got some profits on this, but it's pretty close there towards that 200, and especially where our entry is slightly above here towards 199.80s here. XOM just hanging out there. It went down towards 99.61, but really doesn't want to completely break the trend here. It's 359.30s here. So what we're going to do is, I don't like how XOM hasn't broken down here. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to take out half of it here. Let me see if I can get that closed there. Boom. Just took out half of that. Half of XOM out here at the 80s, 83s. So I can hold on to the rest for the swing. The swing is from 174. So I just wanted to make sure I paid myself there. Paid myself nice. Now we'll see what happens. 359.59. It's closed. It's closed. I can't do nothing. Pencils down, team. Put those pencils down. Put those trade hands down. That's going to do it for us today. Hope you guys enjoyed me talking about the markets, getting us through the witching hour. We'll find out. Still stuck around for that XOM, First Solar, and BX. Got out of that AMD, and woof, saved myself some pretty pennies there. We'll find out what else is going on. And like always, team, enjoy your weekend. Keep building on those skills. Join us on the book club. You guys want to join the book club? I'll throw up the link one last time. And definitely go get those green beers out there, team. Enjoy it. Have a good time. It's Ryan's birthday. Ryan Faluna, of course. That's from Live Trading. If you guys don't know who Ryan is, definitely check out Live Trading whenever possible. And definitely have a good one. Quantum, Wheezy, Captain, Walter, all you guys that came in late, even MD. Don't worry about it, man. Have a good one. 420. I like the name, you dog out there. Smash the like. Smoked tuna. Man, I should probably get some nice smoked, at least a smoked salmon this weekend. Let's keep it going. Dan, have a great one. Joe, I saw you join in. It's good to see you guys. Ryan already doing the party. Now it's time for Join Up. MD, you're more than welcome to come to the book club on Sunday, my friend. And I'll see you guys back on Monday in, of course, Start Swing Trading. And I'll look to get some great guests on next week. We'll look to get Christian Fromhertz. I'll reach out to Anne-Marie Band. And if you guys have a swing trader out there, especially maybe on the Twitter space, that you guys want to see right here on Start Swing Trading, hit me up after the show. You guys can reach out to me on my email, mitch@benzinga.com, or, of course, on my Twitter, @MoneyMitchBZ. Time to wrap it up, team. Time to enjoy the weekend. Maybe catch a little bit of the World Baseball Classic, a little bit of some March Madness. Get ready for a little bit of some baseball. I'm going to go do some swinging this weekend. Got to go put some balls into the fence. You know it, team. I'll see you next time. Smash the like. Keep it going right here. Money Mitch on Benzinga. Let's do it, team. Always together and working to improve ourselves.